in this lesson we're going to be learning about the coordinate plane and how to graph points on it. So a point is an ordered pair, and that looks like a pair of parentheses, and then you'll have a number here and a number there. Your first number is your x coordinate, and the second number is your y coordinate. The x coordinate tells you how far left or right on the coordinate plane your point is. Your y coordinate tells you how far up or down the point is. So you have to use the x and the y to find out where the points are on the coordinate plane. So first thing here, to plot points, you find where your x is, then you find where your y is, and then where the x and the y meet, that's going to be your point. So let's try one real quick. Let's plot the point 2, 1, okay? We're trying out 2, 1. 2 is going to be my x coordinate, and 1 is going to be my y coordinate. So in order to plot this, I need to first find where my x is. So I look on the horizontal line here, the x-axis, and that's labeled with an x, okay? So 2. Okay, I find 2. It's right here. Now I'm going to draw a little dashed line straight up or straight down from there. Okay, so the point, the y is going to tell us whether it's up here or whether it's down there, but we know it's going to be somewhere along this line. Now 1, that's your y coordinate. Okay, the 1 tells you, start here in the middle, you count up 1. And that's where your y is going to be. So now we're going to draw a dashed line over this way. And see the 2 from the x and the 1 from the y, where they meet. That's your point. And that's the point 2, 1. Okay, so that's how you find points on the coordinate plane. Now, you can also work the other way, and you can take a point that's given to you and find the coordinates for it. All right, so here we're going to do A. So I'm going to do this example with you, A. We're going to look where A is at. Now you're always going to first determine your x coordinate. So you look left or right, and it appears A is right here at -2. So my x coordinate for point A is -2. So I'm going to fill that in where the x goes, -2. Now I need to determine the y value. So how far up or down is point A? So I'm going to go here and I'm going to draw a line over to my y axis. Remember, this is your y axis, the up and down. And I can see it is at 1. So point A is at -2 in the x direction, 1 in the y direction. So that is my point, -2, 1. Okay? Now if you notice here, I have Q and then a blank. You also need to be able to tell sometimes what quadrant, okay? Quadrant. I'll write that word down. Q-U-A-D-R-A-N-T. Okay, if you notice, our coordinate plane is split up into 4 parts, hence quadrants. Quad means 4. And they are called quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. They use Roman numerals to name them. Okay, you can remember the order for how they go. It's counterclockwise. So that starts with a C. And you start in quadrant 1. Let me do this in another color here. I'll do it in orange to match. Okay, quadrant 1. We're on the coordinate plane. We're going counterclockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can just remember that you can draw a big C in the middle of that, and wherever you start your C, that's quadrant 1, well, then you can label all the rest of the quadrants. Another important thing that you'll want to know about the coordinate plane, there's a special point. It's called the origin, okay? Origin, that means where it begins. Okay, origin means to begin. And the origin of the coordinate plane is at 0, 0, right in the middle. So your x is 0 and your y is 0, right there in the middle. That is the origin. So I want you to label that on your paper. Okay, origin. So now let's do another example here. I'm going to do example B with you, okay? And you're going to do C and D. So let's make sure. Did we finish A? Okay, we got the point for A. We said it's at -2, 1. And then now we need to decide what quadrant. Well, let's see here. This is quadrant 1. A is not there. So we go over here. Oh, A. It's in quadrant 2. So you would put Q2. So for A, its point is -2, 1, and it is in quadrant 2. Now B. For B, they have given us a point, and then we're going to have to graph it. So it's going to be the same thing for C and D here. For A, we had the point, and then we had to tell the quadrant as well. Well, for C, you're just going to tell me what point it is. So you can see point C is right there. You're going to tell me where it's located. For B and D, they've given us the ordered pair, the point, and then we're going to have to mark it over here on our coordinate plane. So let's do B. B is at 3/2, -2. 3/2. I'm looking, that's my x coordinate. I'm looking here. I don't see the number 3/2 written. Well, guess what? 3/2. Is that a whole number? This right here is an improper fraction. So in order to find out where that's got to be, we're going to need to take that and turn it into a mixed number first, or a decimal if you like, and that way you can see where it's supposed to go. Because it's not going to be a 1, 2, or 3. It's going to be somewhere in between one of those numbers. So 3/2. I know that 3/2 is equal to 1 and 1/2. Because 3/2, that's 3 halves. 2 halves make 1 whole, so that's where the 1 is. And then we have 1 extra half left over, so that's the 1/2. So 3/2 is 1 1/2. So this is really at 1 and 1/2 -2. So I'm going to go find my x first. And let's do this in pink. So find your x. 1 and 1/2. You start in the middle, always start in the middle. Go over 1 and then 1/2. So right there, that's 3/2. That's 1 1/2. Now we look at our y. Our y is -2. So automatically we know that the point is going to be down below the x-axis because our y is negative. Okay? So we got 3/2. We'll just draw a little line there, down. And now we're going to go to -2 and we're going to draw a line across so we can see where it's going to meet. So -2, we got our line going across. Here and here, they meet right there. And so we're going to call that point B. Okay? So we have practiced taking a point they've given us and saying where it's at, giving its ordered pair, and also telling what quadrant it's in. And then we have also practiced taking a point that we've been given and plotting it on the graph. So what you need to do now in your notebook is for C, you're just simply going to give me the ordered pair, the coordinates for point C, okay? Don't worry about doing the quadrant. Just give me the ordered pair. And now for D, you're going to have to take this ordered pair and you're going to plot it on your coordinate plane here. So get that down in your notebook. Let me see what you got, and then we'll go from there.